Light language is not a new language to be learned. It is your divine expression of energy. Today, I want to share with you a beautiful transmission in my new light language course. I'm sharing with you this introduction in the course because it is important, and I wish that whether you take the course or not, this is something that everybody should know about light language. Light language is not a new language to be learned. In fact, light language is a vehicle, is a vessel for your divine remembrance. The fundamental truth of it is this: there are different applications, but the essence really of light language is the language of your soul. So remembering this language is your divine remembrance of your soul, of your essence, of your divinity. Before we get into that, I wanted to express some of my initial hesitations when I was being guided to create a course. Honestly, I don't see this as a course, but I don't know how to describe it in a way that people can understand what this is about. It's a program, it's a course, whatever the word is. Energetically, it is a portal. It is a sacred portal of remembrance. When I was being guided by my team to create this about a year ago, I was very, very hesitant because in my own experience, I know that light language is not like another human language like Korean or Japanese or English or German. It is not learned that way. You can't learn light language because there is no word for word translation. There is no way that someone can teach you how to speak light language. If someone claims that they can do that, run. Because we don't need another system to limit our communication. And perhaps you have been through that and you have invested money into courses like that. I don't know, honestly, because I've never taken any light language courses before. That is why I say that I never resonated with teaching light language, and when it came to me, I was hesitant and I was resistant. But it kept coming through, and I told my guides, okay, if you want me to do this, let me know how to do it. I sat with this energy for a year. It has always been at the back of my mind. I don't consciously think of it and force something to come out and create a course so that I can make money out of it. No. The energy exchange obviously needs to happen, but the intention of this course is to assist you in your sacred remembrance, and I am simply a vessel to guide you through it. And this course is the portal, is the container for it. It is a structure to move through this initiation. And humans, we all need some kind of structure. It is always a balance of structure and flow, because without structure, we don't feel safe to flow. Too much flow and no structure is not good. Too much structure and no flow is not good as well. So it's always about coming back to the point of equilibrium and the balance point. So here it is. Enjoy. If you want more information about the course, it is in the description box down below. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. And that's it. Enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, before we journey through this beautiful sacred container, this portal that each and every single one of your highest self, each and every single one of your spirit team, your oversouls, your guides have come together to create this for you. Let's just take a moment to ground into this space, into this really special container. You're being guided here for a very specific reason. You're being called here to remember the divine essence of your soul. Light language is not another language to be learned. It cannot be learned. It is to be remembered. Shukwai te krai nai se kwa e shite nai shai site nai shai site. Ukwai she se nai shite nai shite nai shite. Ukwai ne te takrai shai se. Ukwai e ne ta takrai nai she. This is not a language that is outside of you. This is your language. And so sit with this. Let's sit with this frequency, with this energy. The first and the most important thing is that light language is the language of your soul. Light language is the language of your soul. Get this. There is a lot of misconception currently in the spiritual community that light language is a language of the aliens, that light language is the language of another race. We'll get to that, but first of all, we need to realize that at the very core essence of our being, if we trace ourselves back to our original form beyond the soul level, we come from source. Our primordial state is simply vibration. And this vibration, if we really are able to listen closely, and even if we can't pick up with our ears, because our eardrums can only detect certain frequencies, just like how animals like dogs and cats, they pick up frequencies that humans can't. Doesn't mean that if we don't hear it, it's not there. Every vibration has a specific frequency. Sound is a vibration, and light language is the sound of our divine essence. A very, very simple example to help you understand this. The word Om. When we chant Om, this vibration is the vibration of the universe. This is the sound of the universe. Now we have our own unique vibration and our own unique sound. So when we express this sound, this is our language, meaning that this language is in fact unique to everybody. It is unique to each and every single being on earth, just like how our fingerprints are unique to ourselves. No one fingerprint is the exact replica of the other. And the language of our soul, and what is termed as light language now in the community, this is the unique expression of our primordial energy, of our vibration. Now, light language is not solely limited to the expression with the voice. Light language is an expression. It is our divine soul expression, meaning that it can be expressed through movement. It can be expressed through hand movements, through body movements like swaying. It can be expressed through dancing, through drawing, through writing. It can be expressed in a million ways. It is not limited to just speaking. However, we have to also understand that the activation of the voice is actually very much innate in all beings. It is a very powerful vessel. It is a very powerful activation, just like how a baby, the moment the baby is being born and a soul arrives in a physical body, the baby cries. Even if it doesn't know how to express itself in human terms, in our human language, it makes sounds to let us know that it needs to be taken care of, that it needs attention, that it wants something. And just think about it. The moment that a baby, that a soul arrives on this plane, the first thing that they do is they cry. They make a sound. And this is their activation. So sound has a really powerful activation and meaning behind the awakening. So personally for me, light language first got activated through my voice. And through the voice, through speaking it, I was going through a lot of healing in my throat chakra. I was going through a lot of healing of really the fear of judgments and the fear of what if this gets out there and people think I'm crazy. There was a lot of healing that was happening as I was remembering my soul language and coming home to myself. I just want you to remember that light language is not meant to be learned. It is meant to be remembered. You don't look for this outside of yourself. You look for it within you, because this thing that is exactly blocking you from actually expressing your truth, this thing is the illusion of separation. The illusion that this is an external language, it's a new language. The illusion that we are separate from source. The illusion that we are separate from our higher self. The illusion that we are separate from our guides, from our team. That is the exact thing that is blocking you from communicating with them. In fact, they are communicating with you 24/7, every single second, every single day. They are communicating with you. However, you think they're not because you see yourself as separate from them. But if you realize, if you truly realize and understand that we are not separate from our higher selves. We are not separate from our oversoul. We are not separate from all these parallel timelines that our souls are living out. That we are indeed one of them and they are one of us, and we are interacting. We are interacting in this two-way street with all of us in this multi-dimension. Then you will realize that actually Spirit is truly communicating with you every single day, every single second. Let that sit. Integrating into your field. Releasing the mind, releasing the ego, the grip of needing to understand every single thing that is being said right now. Understand that beyond these words that I'm saying, on the deeper layers, on the deeper levels, on different dimensions, a lot of work is actually happening on these different dimensions, on these different layers. And you can feel it. You can feel that this is beyond just human words coming at you and being comprehended by the mind. It is actually a full-on activation, a full-on recalibration as well. The second thing is that light language is actually an expression of universal energy. And this is not separate from the first point. This is actually a build on from the first point, remembering that we are energy in essence. So when we tap into our divine essence, our divine vibration, and we express that, that is our divine language. That is our light language, our unique language that we're expressing. Now, along in your journey, you might realize that you start to pick up on energies that perhaps are not entirely yours. So when you look online, there are a lot of light language transmissions around Pleiadians, around Arcturians, around Mother Gaia, around the dragons. Now these, again, they're not outside of you, they're not external, they're not separate. However, they are essentially not your unique vibrational signature. This energy that is coming through from Mother Gaia, you are receiving that energy and you feel the vibration that is actually very different. Subtle energetics, it's very different from your unique vibration, your unique frequency. And that is actually a transmission, that is actually an expression of Mother Earth's love for us. And when you actually speak and express that, or write that, or draw that, it comes out very differently. It can be very subtle, or it can actually sound very different. It will definitely feel very different when someone else listens to it, or when you re-listen to it, or actually when you are expressing that, you can feel, oh, this is not me. This is actually something that is new to me. And it's not familiar, or maybe it's familiar because you have felt into it many times, but it is just not your divine essence. And that is actually an expression of light language as well, because light language is an expression of energy, and everything around us is energy. If you think about it, this is actually channeling. This frequency is not your divine signature. And I believe that all of us, we have the innate ability to channel. Just depends on whether this is something that you are meant to use for service, right? Because a lot of us, when we actually receive messages for ourselves, we are actually channeling messages for ourselves, believe it or not. When we are receiving intuitive hits, when we are in states of meditation so deep, like we're having a conversation with our higher self, you are actually already channeling. And we all have direct access to our teams, we all have direct access to our guides, we all have direct access to our higher self because they are a part of us. Obviously, we have direct access to them. When you're receiving messages from them, you are actually channeling. We all have this innate ability. It's just whether it is refined or not. And this is like a muscle that needs to be trained. And the more you train it, the more you go to the gym, the more you do a certain exercise to build that muscle up, the stronger it becomes. And that is exactly it. Like when you channel, the first time is going to feel very, like, I don't know if this is just me making things up. It just sounds like myself, like this is just me making things up. But when you just disregard the fact whether it's right or wrong and stop trying to fixate on, is this me channeling, is this me receiving messages, or is this me making things up, just put that aside for a moment and allow yourself to have that childlike curiosity of, oh yeah, this is fun, maybe this is it, maybe this is not, but who cares, because, you know, I'm receiving this, and just let that be. You will begin to realize that actually this is the universe trying to communicate with you. Now, the last point about light language is the fact that light language is a sacred technology. It is an ancient technology for clearing, for healing, for activations, for anything that you want it to be. It is that powerful. Then my guides literally told me in one of my meditations, they said, your consciousness is technology. When you're able to tap into the supreme consciousness and communicate and interact with this consciousness, you'll be able to realize that you can actually channel this energy. It's malleable. You can actually shift it. You can actually like direct this energy to a specific person. You can direct this energy to something. You can send healing to it. You can send clearing to this person. You can use this vibration, which is actually, if you think about it, when we just talk about sound vibrations, there are so many modalities around sound healing, like sound baths or singing bowl therapies, and there's a lot of scientific research around how the vibrations can actually harmonize the vibration of your cells, and that in itself actually shifts something within your body. It is actually a very ancient practice, and I remembered a lifetime in Egypt that the pyramids are actually not what it seems to be. It is actually a chamber for healing, and the specific way that the pyramids are being built, I was being shown that it's a very specific geometry, very specific dimensions, and the way that it is being built, the sound that bounces off the walls of the pyramid creates a very divine healing effect. And I think there are many videos of people chanting Om in the pyramids, so people singing a mantra in the pyramids, and they use some sort of like sand or I don't know if you've seen these videos before. They're able to create a visual representation of the sacred geometry that is being produced when a certain mantra is being chanted in the pyramids, when a certain sound is being made in the pyramids. The particles actually vibrate and create a sacred geometric pattern, and that is the technology. We can't see it with our naked eyes. It doesn't mean that if you don't feel anything and if you don't see anything that this is not working, because on a different frequency, on a different dimensional level, it's like radio stations. There are many radio stations that we can tap into in this moment, depending on what station you want to tap into. You tune into the frequency and you hear the DJ that's talking from the other side, right? But if you don't want to listen to the station, you can tune into a different frequency and you can pick up on a separate station that's talking about a separate thing, that's playing a separate music. Now, we don't see all these frequencies with our naked eyes, right? However, we can tune into that and we can receive things from that frequency. When light language is being transmitted, whether you see it as a visual, a drawing, whether you see it as a painting, whether you listen to it as a song or a raw channeling of light codes, of sound vibrations, within it, when you receive it, when you receive the sensory input of a sound or a sight, encoded within it are actually sacred geometries. I see it like packets of software that is being sent to you, and it will be in your field, and when the time is right, it will be downloaded, it will be activated, and things will start happening. Things will start happening. And a lot of the times you can't actually pinpoint, oh, I'm having this remembrance because I listened to this light language. Perhaps you could, but a lot of the times in our journey, we're actually doing so many things at once. Our spirit is astral traveling when we're sleeping. Even when I'm talking, a fractal of my soul is actually somewhere else doing something else. I don't even know about it, but it's doing something. And it's hard to truly pinpoint, this is the thing that led to my awakening, or this is the thing that healed me, this is the thing that activated me, that cleared. A lot of things is happening all at once, and our being can only receive a fixed amount of sensory input at a time. These 5 senses, but there's so many things that are beyond us that can't be picked up by these 5 senses, and it doesn't mean that it is not there. That is why the 6th sense actually exists. So really, this means that someone can actually receive light language from you, or you can receive light language from me or any other channelist transmitting light language. And you might not feel a single thing, but the codes are already present in their field. And it's only a matter of time when this activates within them. And I don't have full control over how that's going to activate for you. I don't have full control over how you are going to remember your own divine expression of your language, of your primordial energy. However, I am simply here to guide you through it. And this is a seed planting moment. I plant that seed of light within you, and when the time comes, it's going to germinate. The fact that you are here, this is the first step. And this is a sacred container to be finished. I hope that you have a beautiful journey through this portal. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next module.